So, today is Wednesday, August 23rd. Oh, hold on. Oh, you can see me. Wait, right there. And today I'm getting ready to do absolutely nothing. Honestly, I'm just bored and I need to film something. And I have nothing really that exciting to film right now. So this is what we're doing instead. I wasn't like screaming, like throwing a fit. I was like excited. I let out like my 6-year-old child is bawling her eyes out and has to go to school tomorrow and can't sleep because she can't sleep without the dog. And the woman just looks at my dad and goes, "You abuse this dog. I'm not giving you this dog back." First, I have these really cute, let me get like the makeup guru hands, really cute like little hair clips. And I got these at Marshall's. And there's strawberries on them and I think they're really cute. So usually I would do my skincare routine before I do my makeup, like right before. But I already did it today. So I don't need to do it. So the first thing I gotta do is I'm gonna use the e.l.f. Invisible Sunscreen. Suntouchable, that's what I was trying to find. And it feels really weird getting ready and not like playing music or something, but oh well, I don't know. I don't like have that much to talk about, so I'm just like gonna be sitting here being like, what do I talk about right now? Anyways, I can tell some stories about when I was younger. That could be pretty interesting. I have a lot of weird stories from when like I was little. So next I use the Power Grip primer, the e.l.f. Power Grip primer with 4% niacinamide. So I guess like a fun story that I could tell is probably about my neighbor. My neighbor's like kind of insane. Because so my neighbor, right, is like 80 years old, lives alone. She used to live with another woman, but they were just roommates. And she's like actually crazy. So basically, my like dad and my uncle have lived in the house that I live in for like a really long time. Like they lived here when they were kids. And she's also lived there in her house for the longest time. So like obviously like she's known my dad and my uncle for a really long time. And so like she like used to like threaten to call the cops on like my uncle for like driving his dirt bike, and like he like wouldn't even be home. Like he wouldn't be there to be riding his dirt bike or whatever. But she'd be like, if it happens again, I'll call the cops. So like she used to just be like a Karen, I guess, and be like, I'll just call the cops on you and blah 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 blah. Next I mix these two for foundation. The e.l.f. Flawless Satin Foundation and the e.l.f. Halo Glow Liquid Filter, because this is way too dark for my very pale skin. So like she used to be like annoying, but like it was never really that bad. What is on my arm? Anyways, she used to just be like really annoying, but like it was genuinely kind of harmless. But then like I don't know like when it really got worse, but she is actually like insane, berserk, crazy, unwell now. So basically this all starts when I was about 3 years old, and we had a little Okay. That was an interesting noise. I don't know why it just did that. Oh, look at how broken my Halo Glow cap is. Like, I don't know how that happened. I didn't like drop it or anything. Anyways, we used to have like a pool in my yard when I was younger. And I was like 3 years old. And like, obviously, a 3-year-old is outside, very excited. They're probably gonna be loud. And we don't like live in an apartment or anything. And like, our yard is like pretty big. So like, my parents were like, it's not really a big deal. Like, I feel like, you know, I wasn't like screaming, like throwing a fit. I was like excited. I let out a little like, it was like a scream laugh, like something like that, I think. And did I just run out of foundation? No, we're good. And so apparently, and I'm like too young to really like remember, I was like too young to really remember this. So like, I kind of just have like what other people have told me to go off of. But she comes out to her little corner of the fence because she's like diagonal from us. Like, we have our next door neighbor, she's like in front of their house. Like, it's really weird setup. But she comes to her fence and starts like screaming at my parents that if I don't shut up, she's gonna come over and drown me. I love telling this story because it's just so funny. Like, she's actually so crazy. And so my parents are like, what? Like, what? Like, who says that about like a little kid? And so they bring me inside and her and my dad start arguing. And somewhere in this, and I don't 100% sure know when, but at some point the cops ended up getting called, I think. And like, nobody like pressed charges or anything. But basically she was just told to kind of like leave us alone, not talk to us, and like stop being a weirdo. And that was kind of it for like a long time. And so a couple years later, me and my family adopt a dog, and she was so cute and I miss her so much. Her name is Bella. She was actually adorable. If I can find a picture, I'll put it up. She was actually the cutest dog ever. But anyways, so she ended up like getting out and nobody had noticed because we literally thought she was in the house. And then, because I was like 6 when this happened, I could not sleep without her in my room and in my bed. And so like, it was about like time for me to go to bed, I think. And like, everybody was like, where's the dog? Like, what? And so I don't know how this happened because I was really young and nobody wanted to freak me out. I didn't do my eyebrows. I just realized that. Anyways, this is the NYX, the brow glue. Nobody like wanted to freak me out, so like I still don't know like the full story on like how this got figured out and everything. But basically, we found out that my dog was 2 towns over, or 2 or 3 towns over, like pretty far. And so we figured out like where, like what house my dog was at. And my dad went to the woman's house. It was a woman, and she had like kids and everything. And he was like really nice about it. He was like, hey, like I think you have my dog, and like my 6-year-old child is bawling her eyes out and has to go to school tomorrow and can't sleep because she can't sleep without the dog in her bed. And is like being like really reasonable. And the woman just looks at my dad and goes, you abuse this dog, I'm not giving you this dog back. And first of all, she was not abused. We took care of her really well. We loved her. Like, there was no like hint of abuse at all. And so she's like, I'm not giving you this dog back and blah, blah, blah. Like, this is our dog now. Like, I bathed her. My kids are, like, obsessed with her. Like, they gave her, like, a new name, a new collar. Like, this lady was actually insane. And this does tie into my neighbor eventually. And so my dad's like, if you don't give me my dog back, I'm going to call the police because you're stealing my dog. Like, what? And so eventually the woman gives our dog back. And first of all, that was the only time that my dog ever, like, ran away or, like, got out and we didn't know. Like, that never happened. And that was the first and only time that ever happened, because she literally, like, she was scared to leave the yard. I don't know why, but she just was. And so we got our dog back, and I think, like, she was genuinely, like, traumatized by that family, because, like, we had the collar that, like, they gave her. And, like, she was, like, terrified of it. Like, every time, like, we would bring her for a walk, because we did end up, like, sometimes using that collar, because it was just a random collar that we had. She would freak out every time that we tried to put her in that collar, so we ended up getting rid of it. Hold on, I'm wetting my beauty blender. These are beauty blenders. I think they're from Shein, but they're really nice, and I like them. They're very stained, but that's okay. And so, we get our dog back. Everything's fine. And now we're gonna jump to summer 2020. Might have been 2021, but I think I was still in middle school at the time, so it would have been probably 2020. It was either summer going into 8th grade or summer going into my freshman year. I can't remember. But this was the first summer that we had a pool in our yard from when I was... Actually, I'm jumping too far ahead. So now we're going to jump to COVID. And I was in 7th grade when quarantine happened. And me and my little sister were playing in the yard. And my neighbor comes to her fence like she did when I was younger, and I don't notice her at first. I'm just, like, playing with my sister, chasing her around, because she's only, like, in 2nd grade, I think, at this point. And so she's literally standing there watching us, and I don't know how long she was there, but she was there for a while. And then, like, she starts talking to me and my sister, and she's like, oh, I love that you guys get along so well, and blah, blah, blah. Like, me and my sisters never really got along very well, and all of that. And I'm just, like, looking at her like, are you gonna threaten me again? Because, like, I'm kind of scared. And so, you know, I'm kind of just, like, I'm trying to be respectful, because, like, I'm genuinely terrified of this woman. And she's like, I just want to apologize to, like, the things that I said to you when you were younger. Like, I was just going through a really tough time and blah, 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 blah. And I was like, yeah, like, whatever. Like, you haven't apologized to, like, anyone else that I live with in my family. And I was also 3, so maybe you should apologize to my parents before you apologize to me. Like, I don't know, that just makes more sense, because, like, I feel like I was so young that, like, I probably wouldn't even remember it that well. Like, I honestly don't really remember it. The only thing I remember from when she, like, threatened me was I was, did I tell you what any of those products were? The concealer is the Revolution IRL Filter Finish Concealer, and then the NYX is the NYX Wonder Stick. Couldn't remember if I did that. Like, I feel like it makes more sense, but that's just me. I don't know. So that she's talking to me, and my sister, like, goes inside. I don't know. I don't remember. And so I'm literally just stuck there talking to her alone. And she's like, you know, your yard isn't very big. Mine's a lot bigger. So, like, if you and your sister ever want to come into my yard and play, like, that's fine. And I'm like, oh, yeah, thanks. Like, I'll think about it. Like, who's texting me? Shush. Like, girl, you literally, like, you know that, like, fairy tale about the witch that lived in, like, the candy house that would, like, eat kids? I forget what it was, but, like, I remember it a little bit. She gives me that vibe. Like, no, girl, you're gonna lure me into your house and kill me. I don't want that. Like, I'm terrified of you. And so that happens, and, like, I go inside right after, and I tell my mom. She's like, yeah, you're not gonna go play in her yard. Like, that's so weird. And then I don't remember if it was that summer or the summer after, but that was the first summer that we had a pool in my yard since, like, she threatened me. And that was, like, probably 10 years after, too. So, like, it had been a long time. And so me and my sister are in the pool, and my mom's, like, away. Like, she's outside, but she's not, like, really paying attention to us because she was doing something with the garden. And, you know, me and my sister are just, like, playing in the pool, being normal little kids, and here comes my 90-year-old neighbor just walking by the pool in my yard, and I'm just like, what? Like, why is she here? Like, what could she want now? And so she comes up and, like, I think she was gonna go, like, knock on the door to my house, but, like, she definitely saw, like, me and my sister. And so my mom comes up and is, like, not paying attention, like, still didn't notice her. And so she notices her and is like, oh, like, what are you doing? Like, why are you here? In, like, a very respectable way. But, like, you could still tell she was like, why is this woman in my yard? Like, get her away. And so, yeah. So she starts, like, profusely apologizing to my mom about, like, the whole, like, threatening to drown me thing and blah, blah, blah. She's like, you know, I just love kids and, like, I love animals. Which we thought was really weird, that she said that she loved animals. And, like, we knew that she had 2 dogs around the time that my dog was stolen. So, like, she already had, like, collars and stuff. And so me and my mom were talking after that, and she was just like, it's really weird that, like, she said that she loved dogs and kids, because, like, she never really did anything that we know of that really involved dogs that she would have to apologize for. Like, it was just really weird. And so that's when we were kind of like, maybe, like, that's how, like, the family was able to, like, get our dog and, like, all of that. Maybe, like, she, like, was telling them about us or, like, something like that. Like, it was just really, really weird. That was Rare Beauty Blush and the Maybelline Fit Me setting powder. I keep getting, like, carried away telling this story that I forget to say what brands I'm using. I don't know what brand this is because it doesn't say, but this is just eye primer. Like, we just thought it was really, really weird that, like, she's, like, all of a sudden was just like, and I love dogs, I would never do anything to harm them, and blah, 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 blah. We just thought it was, like, really, really weird. And so, yeah, that happened, and my mom was kind of just like, like, go away, like, we don't like you, get out of my yard, like, that kind of, like, thing. And, like, she wasn't being, like, mean or anything or, like, rude. She was just kind of being like, yeah, like, trying to get her to leave. And so that happens, and she, you know, blames it on how, like, she didn't know she had anxiety, and how, like, she had gotten really bad news, and how, like, she had just found out that one of her family members or something like that had gotten diagnosed with cancer. And like, yeah, that really sucks, but that doesn't mean that you can threaten to drown a 3-year-old child. Like, no. That's not a very good reason. And so, after that, we kind of don't hear a lot from her. We would see her though, because like her wall that kind of like faces my house and like my yard, it's like a screen-in like porch thing, so it's like all a big window basically. And she has a chair that literally faces my yard and sits there and watches me and my sister whenever we're out there. This was the LA Girl eyeshadow in the shade Hollow Glam, maybe? I don't know. It doesn't say shade, I don't think. And the LA Girl Dream Glitter Iridescent Liquid Eyeshadow in the shade Iridescent Dream. So like that was, yeah. And then she kind of like left us alone for a while. I have to do my eyeliner, so I need to shut up for a second. But this is the NYX Epic Ink Liner. Oh, I just messed this one up so bad. My eyeliner has not been very good lately, and I don't know why. Whatever. This one looks really good. This one looks really bad. Whatever, I'm not going anywhere. It doesn't really matter. Anyways, so we kind of like don't hear from her for a while, and then one day she is knocking at my door after what? Ew, I just got a Saturn notification. There's 400 people on my school that are on Saturn. And I know not everyone at my school is on Saturn, which means there's more than 400 people at my school. Which actually, that makes sense. I think there's like 600 or 700 people at my school. I don't know. Anyways, this is the Essence Slash Princess mascara. The green one. So she waited until she saw my dad's truck get home, because she had already apologized to me, my mom, and I think my grandparents too. And so she comes to my door, she knocks on the door, my mom answers the door. She's like, hi, like, is your husband home? Like, I saw his truck in the driveway. And my dad, I remember this, I was like 12, I think. And he literally was hiding from her. Like, he ran from the door once he found out that it was her. Because he just didn't want to talk to her. And I think that's actually the funniest thing ever. Like, nobody wants to talk to her. No one cares at this point. Like, it's been 13 years since this happened. And she still is, like, profusely apologizing to us. Like, girl, I get that you feel bad that you threatened to kill a child. But, like, oh my god. It's not. Like, we're over it. Stop bringing it up. It's like you want us to not like you. Anyways. So, she's, like, trying to get my dad out and, like, being like, well, I feel really bad about what happened and blah, 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 blah. And I was kind of like away trying to like listen to this conversation because I think it's so funny. And this is the Makeup by Mario blush in the shade Poppy Pink. I've had this for forever. And so I'm kind of just like hiding like in the corner listening to this conversation because I think it's so funny. And she's like, well, I'm really old and like I don't know how much time I have left, and you know, I would feel horrible if like you were still mad at me about this. And I actually started dying laughing. So I'm like, woman, you were 90 years old when this happened to begin with. You should have thought about that when it first happened. And then this is the Revolution highlighter in the shade Just My Type. Yeah, Just My Type. So yeah, that was kind of like the last we heard. I have not seen her in years. In like a good like 2 years. So she honestly might be dead. Like, I know that's really bad to say, but she's like so old and she lives completely alone. I've never seen another person like in her driveway or parked at her house. Like, I don't think like she really like has like any family, and if she does, I don't think they really like talk to her, because like she never leaves the house because she doesn't have a car. And like there's never another car like at her house. So like she could genuinely be dead. I haven't seen her look out her window in a long time. So like that really sucks. But like, don't threaten to drown kids and then steal their dog. I'm just saying. It's kind of messed up. This is a Revlon lipstick. I don't know what shade. And then this is the NYX Fat Lip Oil. I like that noise that it makes when it comes out. I think it's really satisfying. Okay, now I gotta put this all back in my makeup bag. But yeah, that's pretty much the whole story. I'm like surprised. Oh my god. That actually kind of worked out perfectly with how long this story was and how like long it took me to do my makeup. Like, I thought I was gonna like have like time to do like multiple stories, but I didn't. But that kind of worked out perfectly. But yeah, this is my makeup. That's how I literally do it every single day. I need to brush my hair really badly. I haven't done that yet today. But thanks for watching. This is the whole video. Subscribe, like, my socials are linked in the description. And yeah, I don't know what else I need to say. Video should be right here. I don't know what video. It'll either be what YouTube thinks that you should watch or what I posted last, which was my school supplies, I think. I don't know. But I start school soon, so if you want to see some really cool school-related videos, you should watch this, because when this video comes out, it will already be the week I start school. So if you want to see some back to school videos, you better subscribe. Okay, bye!